Invasions are not easy. That's what makes them so much fun. The rush, the reward of fighting outnumbered against three people and being able to come out on top. You know, that's what makes these games so interesting to keep coming back. You can run through the game, you know, solo or just playing against the computer, whatever, trying to kill the PvE, you know, even co-oping with a friend. But to me, they always eventually get a little dull. And the best thing to keep the games fresh to make sure they never get old is invasions. That's what gives these games so much extended life for me. It never gets old because you never get the same invasion twice. I mean, granted, a lot of them you end up fighting similar things in similar situations, but it's always different people with different skill sets, different builds, and while you see a lot of similar things, you know, it's a unique experience. It just makes these games so fantastic. Um, but with Elden Ring in particular, we get the new invasion system, and you almost never invade a solo host unless they're Tonka's tongues, and then they usually get some advantages over you anyways. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're prepared to be outnumbered, and you got to figure out how to turn the tide. So, in that last clip you saw, you started out 3v1. The best thing to do is try to take out one person as quickly as you can and balance the odds in your favor. Here we got the over-leveled guy. Best thing to do, obviously, is to scare him off a cliff and let him jump to his demise. You know, you hit him with that big bubble burst damage. He doesn't know what to do. You get his little hostie alone. He's not wearing any clothes. You bust out the very overpowered flail and bleed him out and call it a day. So you can see, obviously, a 1v1 situation, 2v1's a lot less complicated than a 3v1. Here, I get my higher level build. The other one's my 46 low level bubble guy. This is my, it's like 136, 138, somewhere around there. And we got this big boy with a hammer. He's ready to fight. And, you know, he wanted to have a little dual honor fight, and that's fine by me. So I want to see kind of what his play style is, because that hammer can be dangerous. So we'll see how he responds to a bubble. Cast it at the floor. He's almost dead. Finish him off again. Flails OP. Obviously, if you're very familiar with this game, the flails are kind of terrible, but they're a lot of fun. And they can't be parried, which I like, because it lets me spam out a couple of attacks when I want to. And the Endure on this one lets me cast out the fully charged bubble, charge up Carrion Piercer, a couple other things, you know, just be able to tank a couple hits. And I've been having fun with it. It's not great by any means, but it's a good time. Here we got three people charging us down. I was in a little bit of a precarious situation, so I wanted to try to change it up. This dude whips me out of midair, and I'm trying to separate the group a little bit here, get them on different parts of the elevator. Host goes up, Phantom comes down, the other Phantom's coming up. They're a little discombobulated, and this is exactly the kind of thing you need to turn the tide in a fight. When you had three people all focused only on you, it's difficult, but now I got them split up. I got a big enemy here for them to worry about other than just me. Able to take one of them out, the classic fat rolling mage. This guy here, combo in the cannon into the homeboy's gravity pull and take that guy out. Finish him off with the pebble, and now it's time to go find the host. I wasn't quite sure where he went. Don't know if he was running to the bonfire, which is what I think his intention was, but I don't know if he ever made it there. So he never popped back up on the radar, so I'm looking around. I didn't see him immediately, but you heard he just stabbed somebody. I thought maybe he had snuck up top to try to sneak around, but looking behind me paid off there. I saw him in the bushes. So now we got another fight off with the flail. And he's got that sword dance on there. You know, he's got a nice, honest little build, not doing anything crazy. Hit him up with a quick piercer, drop that health down, and just try to have some fun with it. Couldn't quite finish him off with the pebble, but a little stab finishes it. And that's how you turn a 3v1 disaster, gangbuster into 3 little 1v1 fights and you win. Here, I ran into this group, and these two both got twin blades, and I thought immediately I was just going to be status attacked into oblivion, whether it be frost or blood or whatever. But you get the twin blades, so they love hitting R1. So the parries usually work real well on twin blades. Whether it was back in the day in DS2 when they first came out or whatever, but here, same thing. The twin blades are very susceptible to a parry, but you just don't want them to get too used to you doing that. Then, if they start mixing up their attacks, it can be more difficult to combat it. Now, you can see I'm not getting any statuses, but they are doing solid damage to me. And they're doing a good job of keeping themselves separate, so I can't quite keep an eye on both of them at the same time. So they were pretty well coordinated. This made this fight a little bit of a challenge. So I'm trying to figure out how best I can deal with them. I decided to go with the hammer so I could get a little bit of hyper armor on the cast if I need it. Got a hit on that guy there. And now I'm just trying to bide my time. And you see I pulled the shield back out. So what I'm thinking already is I get this guy hurt enough that I can probably one-shot him with a good parry now. So take him out. Now it's a 1v1. This guy was a bit over-leveled, not too crazy. But now that he's gone, we can focus the host down. He's panicking a little bit, so when you're running away from a bubble, you're gonna get sucked back into it. Good fight by these guys. And since they like their spinnies with the twin blades, I gave them a nice little spinny celebration. Next up here, we got another 3v1. And this place is great for if you're outnumbered because of those little electrical balls that float around. They are an invader's best friend. People don't seem to respect them because when you're just walking through the level, they're easy enough to avoid. But when you got anything else you need to focus on, those things can take you out, especially in the water. They do a ton of damage. And so those things you always want to keep in mind where they are when you're fighting here, playing here, whatever. So we got the one Phantom who's hanging out near the boss. I don't know what he was doing, but here we got a second Phantom. I know it's going to be a 3v1 now. So just trying to feel these guys out a little bit and see what they're up to. Hadn't seen the host yet, just the two. So, trying to see, is he going to rush in? Can we take one of them out quickly? Maybe one of these guys is the host, but nope, here comes Leonidas throwing the Spectral Lance at me, which you don't see that too often. I actually I like the Leonidas cosplay. He had the look down, he had the weapons down. Not sure what he's doing with the Holy Sword, but, good on him, whatever. And this is another one. When it's just the three of these guys with nothing else to focus on, they're quite menacing. I couldn't quite take the guy out here with the bubble combo, so now I'm in a heap of trouble. My first damage wasn't quite enough to take him out, so you come over to your little helper over here. He throws that electricity out. I was going to take that guy back down, but I see he's already out. So now it's a 2v1 instead of a 3v1. So much more manageable at this point. Heal back up. And, well, let's see. This guy's not fully healed. So we'll throw some bubbles around. Maybe try to get a parry, a couple big hits, whatever you can do. So these guys have been full-on aggressive the whole time, which you got to appreciate. Sometimes they run away, sometimes they just want to throw stuff at you. Leonidas comes in here giving me a bow, but you were just trying to fight me 3v1, so I don't care about your little honor bow now. Too late for that. But either way, I'm not mad at him about it, but I'm not going to give him time to recuperate. But I think he knew he was either going to bow then or never. So finish it off there. The blood eventually finishes him off. And good fight to him and his buddies. 3v1 or not, I don't think they were ganking or anything. They're just playing through the level and ended up being a real good fight. So So that's what we're here for. You know, you love the good fights. And again, you know, that's one of those situations. Split the group instead of going 3v1, go, you know, a 1v1 or a 2v1. Use the level, use whatever you can to make some space. And then this last one here doesn't really have anything to do with the rest of it. I just thought this was a funny end to this fight. I think he must have thought, because I'm using a magic katana, he's probably assuming, you know, I get the moon veil, I'm gonna start throwing beams at him. But I don't know what this guy was doing. I don't know if he had a phantom that was somewhere in the world, if he was fingered and looking for fights. But he didn't really try to fight back. He's not doing anything. I couldn't wrap my head around what he was doing, but I wasn't gonna wait for blues to show up or more phantoms or whatever. This is my level 138 build, I think, at this point. So, you know, he's in an appropriate area for the level. So I don't know what's going on here, but I couldn't catch him with the bubble. Bust out the katana again, because it's not something I play with very often, but, you know, it's a good weapon. And I think here I messed him all up, because he's expecting Moon Veil. Instead, I throw the Carrion Grandeur and scare him over the edge. And those are the moments we're here for. Thanks for watching, and take care of yourselves.